the balloon roof here in Pontiac. Spins it to Humphrey's side. Check that, it's Hector at the 2. Hector gets to the 21, and that's all. Freeman McNeil will not start at the moment in uniform, but a cheerleader. Quarterback Ken O'Brien, number 1 in the National Football League, brings his offense onto the field, protected by the little general Fields in the middle, Sweeney and Alexander the guards, McElroy and Powell at tackle. Al Toon, the rookie from Wisconsin, Wesley Walker, the veteran, on the outside. Mickey Schuler is the tight end, with Hector and Page, the runners behind O'Brien. O'Brien dumps it off to Page as fullback, and he has 4 yards in the grasp of Jimmy Williams, number 59 from Nebraska. The Lions defense. We talk about Thanksgiving and the Lions. I remember 1962 against Green Bay. William Gay and Curtis Green on the outside. Eric Williams for Doug English on the nose. King, Allerman, Curley, and Jimmy Williams. Williams a real star on the outside. McNorton and Watkins at the corners. Graham and Johnson at safety. 2nd and 6. Hector. No gain. Lost a yard. Williams again.
Number 59, Jimmy Williams, the number 1 linebacker, the only number 1 draft pick on the defensive side for Detroit. Very quick. Watch how quickly he's over behind. That's just good pursuit and a good read on his part. Wayne Fonts, the defensive coordinator, compares him to Hugh Green, the great linebacker he had down in Tampa Bay. He said Jimmy Williams has all those same attributes and that same toughness.
We'll talk more about him, but he ran a 4.34 at Nebraska, and that's sprinter stuff. 3rd down and 7. O'Brien in the crowd hits Schuler, and on 3rd down, Schuler has the first down at the Jets' 35-yard line. William Graham made the tackle.
Very nice play. Schuler, a money receiver. Let's take a quick listen to Mickey Schuler. Well, how he feels about 3rd downs. Well, we'll get that later for you. Here's Schuler coming onto the outside, delaying, and a little mix-up there between he and Al Toon. Schuler getting inside. William Graham, 33, the man assigned to block him, and he's lucky to pull that ball down. Had it hooked up on his shoulder pad.
52nd catch of the season for Schuler. He leads the Jets, and he's second only to Todd Christensen among NFL tight ends. Draw play, and Hector has a hole. Picks up about 4 to the Jets' 39-yard line before August Curley, number 50, and Kurt Allerman, 95, can make the stop. There's Curley, a former Southern California star.
Darryl Rogers talks about his defense as being a bleed 'em defense. And I said, bleed him. What does that mean? He said, we try and keep them in front of us and make them make the mistakes. He said, we've given up a lot of yardage, but we forced a lot of people to make their own errors. It's kind of a bend, but don't break philosophy.
Almost encouraging them to run and not pass. That's Sohn in motion. O'Brien looks as if he wanted to go deep and almost intercepted. August Curley in front of the intended target, Mickey Schuler. His dad was August Sr. Granddaddy was Augustus Curley.
I think the thing that Ken O'Brien has done best as a young quarterback is avoid the interceptions. Only 6 interceptions on the season, 19 touchdowns. He almost went to 7 with this pass, but even that one was thrown down. Very difficult for the defensive linebacker to get around and get his hands on the football.
Go deep and then dumps it off the wrong foot, almost into the arms of Curley, bringing up 3rd down 6. In trouble, fumbles, and the Lions have the turnover. Gay with a hit. William Gay recovers the ball, and Steve Bach, 68. Gay with a hit, and Bach recovered the ball.
The one thing that Ken O'Brien still has great trouble with is when he cannot find his receiver. There's a moment there when he suddenly panics. He has control, but watch him when he sees there's no receiver. Look at his feet. He all of a sudden doesn't know what to do. Right there, the ball is stripped out from the blind side, and Detroit has the big turnover in field position.
Home all year. First down at the Jets' 37. James Jones from Florida, #1 pick a couple of years ago. He leads the Lions in rushing and in pass receiving. He's caught at least one pass in every game that he has played here in Detroit. The offense for the Lions, Mott the center, Dietrich and Dorney. Dorney normally a tackle inside of the guard with Stringer now a tackle, along with the #1 draft pick Lomas Brown at left tackle. Nichols and Thompson, the veterans, outside. Lewis, the tight end, with Moore and Jones behind Eric Hipple. Second down 5. Hipple's first throw is to Jones, so he continues his streak and has the first down at the Jets' 23. 9 yards before Johnny Lynn can make the tackle. The Jets defensively have been tough against the run. Klecko on the nose, maybe the best player at that position in the NFL now. Gastineau and Bennett on the outside. Charles Jackson, Kyle Clifton, Lance Bell playing, though injured, and Rusty Gilbo, the linebackers. Bobby Jackson with a bad neck, and Johnny Lynn at the corners. Springs and Hamilton play the safety spot. First down, Detroit at the Jets' 23. Jones just inside the 20-yard line, a gain of 3 before Kyle Clifton from TCU can make the tackle.
2 runs in the first set by this Detroit team right at Mark Gastineau. I think 2 things they're trying to do. First, they want to freeze Gastineau, take away his great pass rush, but also they want to make him play the running game. They want to find out if he can stop James Jones, and Jones is a fine running back, gained over 100 yards earlier in the year in back-to-back games against Dallas and Miami.
Second down 7. Play action. It's Leonard Thompson, and he has it first and goal at the New York 9-yard line. Leonard Thompson, who has played in over 150 consecutive games with the Lions.
Bob Greasy talked about comfort and confidence. Great confidence here. Leonard Thompson just makes a little wiggle and gets stopped up out there in front of Johnny Lynn, and then pops down and gets that ball all the way to the 9 before they get him on the ground.
Thompson with a good inside move. First down, goal to go at the 9-yard line for Detroit. Just underway here in Pontiac Silverdome. Jones runs right into his own blocker, and there's Marty Lyons, 93, from Alabama, to make the tackle.
Detroit has had trouble blocking the even man lines, the 4-man line. I would expect that Bud Carson, who's looked at a lot of film, even though they didn't have much time to get ready, will be employing quite a bit of 4-man line here today.
Hipple from Utah State. They produced another pretty good athlete named Merlin Olsen a few years ago. He sets his line at the 9, second down. Hipple audibleizing. And throws to David Lewis. Stops at the 1-yard line. 5 Jets to push him back, spearheaded by Lance Mell and Kyle Clifton. It'll be 3rd and goal at the 1.
Lewis right here, and as he comes down to the middle of the field, the linebackers will drop to either side, and a good throw by Hipple. As you see him release to the inside, gets in between the 2 linebackers, and then sits down, finds the open area, just doesn't get into the end zone.
Ball is spotted just inside the 1-yard line on 3rd and goal. Hipple throws wide open, and Rob Rubick drops the ball. Rubick, a second tight end, all alone, and could not tuck it away for the 6. And so the Lions will go for a short field goal.
They had the perfect call, little play-action pass, and Lance Mell, who's still playing on that bad arch, could not make up the ground. He gets caught in traffic. He's trying to come across to the inside, but the pass is dropped. And oh, how costly that is. They'll have to go for the 3.
Rubick has only 2 catches all season long. That would have been his first touchdown. Eddie Murray hits his 8th consecutive field goal. You know, he's 22 for 26 this year. And the Lions actually settle unhappily for 3.
Don't tell me you know about turbos until you go have some fun with this little puppy. The turbo on Mazda's new 626 GT is a new design and light.
Points per game at home, you're going to win most of them, as the Lions have been perfect here in the Silverdome, but on the road, 11 points a game, and that includes 28 in their only road win at Atlanta. You throw that one out, and they've averaged just about a touchdown a game playing away from this building. They take an early 3-0 lead on Murray's 19-yard field goal. That is not a good statistic, a 19-yard field goal. That means you were close and didn't get the 7. Murray lines it to Humphrey's side, and it becomes a very good kick. Jets will take over at the 20-yard line. Reminder, we'll be selecting the Budweiser Most Valuable Player in today's Thanksgiving game. Think along with us and see the player you might pick for that award. We'll announce it later. Ken O'Brien fumbled in his last play on this field in this quarter, and it led to the field goal. O'Brien from the University of California, Davis. He was 25 years of age yesterday. What terrific numbers for him. Best percentage of any passer in the NFL, best interception percentage. Hector for 6. Johnny Hector, who has never rushed for 1,000 yards as a Jet. Of course, playing in reserve behind Freeman McNeil, it's tough to get the opportunity. He had 97 last Sunday. He had 97 once last year against Cleveland, and he's really salivating. He's thinking about trying to get to that century mark. There's McNeil cheering him on, and of course, against the Lions, the poorest record against the rush in the NFL. Hector thinks this might be his day. Hector again. He has close to a first down at the 30-yard line. Kurt Allerman made the tackle.
We talked to Joe Fields about what he has to do as he gets to the line of scrimmage. The center has some interesting responsibilities.
Ferguson also on the tackle.
In a game like today, we're expecting a lot of different things from the Detroit Lions, a lot of different blitzes, a lot of different defensive fronts. So in this kind of situation, I'm expecting to make a lot of calls for the offensive lineman and also to help the quarterback out so he knows what we're all doing up front.
There he is. He calls signals for the rest of the line. The general he is in the middle of that offensive line. It was a first down picked up by Hector, and O'Brien on first down throws a wobbler, incomplete. Now, whether somebody hit his arm or the ball was tipped, but that one was spinning like an end-over-end kick toward Wesley Walker.
Hit by Angelo King and William Gay just as he tried to release that ball, and it went awry. He's lucky it was not intercepted. I believe he wanted Schuler on the right-hand side, but he was hit very hard by 2 of those Lions. Watch him from the blind side now. Just as he starts that arm forward, he is hit and misdirected that pass. So many interceptions you see come off that kind of play on the quarterback, and so many injuries for the quarterback. You can see why.
King from South Carolina State, the former Dallas Cowboy. Beautiful throw to Schuler, knocked down by William Frizzell. He may have saved a touchdown. Picked out of North Carolina Central in Durham, North Carolina last year. Frizzell just tall enough to knock that away from Schuler, who seemed wide open.
One of the most difficult things to teach a quarterback is what kind of pass to throw in given situations. Sometimes you got to zip that ball. Sometimes you got to loft it. O'Brien is starting to make those choices automatically. Lofted that ball. It was just a fingertip on that ball. If it goes over the fingers of Frizzell, it's a big, big game.
See if the Lions are coming with a blitz on 3rd and 10. No. And Hector to run. And he goes nowhere. Bobby Watkins met him at the 35, a gain of just 4. And on comes Dave Jennings and the Jets punting unit.
Well, the advantage that we had talked about on the line of scrimmage certainly has not been evident for the Jets, as the Lions, I think, at a higher emotional level to start this game. The Jets kind of sluggish, and it's hard to get started. You've only had a couple of days to rest. They better get going here pretty quick.
Pete Manley standing back at the Lion 20. St. Lawrence University. The kick and he'll deliver about the 25. Short kick. Manley lets it bounce. And the Jets roll to the 23. 5 minutes and 54 seconds remaining in this opening period. It's the Lions leading. Jets working on this holiday for the 5th time in their history. The Lions record is a bit surprising. It just would seem that through the years that they have won more than that. Only one game above 500 on Thanksgiving. Well, the 10 days off for the winner really is a bonus. 3-0 Detroit. 57-yard punt by Jennings. Hipple goes down in the grasp of you-know-who, number 99, Mark Gastineau. His 10th and a half sack this year leads the Jets.
A submarine sack by Gastineau. They've moved Marty Lyons out on the outside. He's on the other side. Gastineau is cut at the line. Look at him just crawling in there. I don't think Hipple could see. He can crawl faster than most guys can run in to make that sack. Here he is in isolation.
Knocked down, and Hipple looking downfield certainly didn't see the 265-pound Gastineau swimming in for the sack. Hipple has a man wide open, tight end David Lewis, and the second-year receiver from the University of California is close to a first down. Johnny Lynn made the hit. 16 yards on the play.
The offensive coordinator for the Lions, Bob Baker, calling a good game so far as he mixes his plays nicely. That particular situation, they caught the Jets dropping off deep. There's Bob Baker on the sideline, a veteran coach, and he certainly has been a big assist to Darryl Rogers here as he's helped to formulate offensive plans.
They're going to bring the chain gang all the way across the field to measure on the play.
Dick, we talked about the Lions defense being a bleed 'em defense, a bend but don't break defense. On the other side, the Jets, what I would call a pressure defense. They try and make you play on a short field. They tend to bring everyone up and squeeze you, push on you. However, the one thing they're concerned about, and of course you see the first down being signaled. The one thing they're concerned about, they've had so many injuries in their secondary, you've got to have some continuity there if you want to play that bump and run, if you want to play tight. They're concerned about Bobby Jackson lasting out the day, has a neck injury. So we'll keep an eye on some of those Jet defensive backs.
Both Jackson and Mel, the inside linebacker for the Jets, playing hurt, will go as far as they can. First down Lions at their 39. To the 42. Ask him about this holiday, and so many of the players asking us to say hello to their families watching around the country today. And James Jones said, my mother, I got to thank her, down in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. She raised us while Dad was off earning the dollars driving a truck, and it was her inspiration. And never acknowledging the fact that things might be tough gave me a feeling that I'll carry the rest of my life, and certainly has been part of his great athletic career at Florida, and now as a fine player here in the National Football League. That story to be repeated over and over in both locker rooms. Jones again to the 44. Rusty Gilbo with the tackle. It'll be 3rd and 4.
A chance to look at what the Jets are doing defensively as they've been stacking up on the inside. They're playing what actually amounts to a Chicago-type defense with both of these linemen just loaded up inside. Barry Bennett and here's Gastineau. They're all very tight inside. They're penetrating and pinching on the inside here, making it difficult to get that running game going. That's that 46 defense we've seen Chicago run.
Hipple is in trouble and just gets it away, and what a catch by Jones at the 50. A first down at the Jets 43. And what a play by Hipple under pressure. That was a basketball shot he threw to Jones, who makes a one-handed catch and 13 yards, but a flag is down.
You ask a quarterback what he's thinking about when they're coming at him, and he told us yesterday, he said, you've got to concentrate on the receivers. You can't think about what they're going to do to you when they get there. He has been so abused during this season. In our opening,
Illegal formation
shot he took earlier, and we just heard the announcement they're going to call it back because of a penalty. But from the other side of the field, you see the pressure, you realize what great concentration it takes, and what a great catch that was with one hand by James Jones.
But it's called back. Rich Stringer, the right tackle, and he's assigned primarily Mark Gastineau today, guilty of holding. Hamilton, who came up from the secondary to drop him cleanly shy of the 45. And on 4th down, the Lions will have to punt. Dirty Harry, as he calls himself. A tough defensive hitter.
He earned that name.
4th and 3.
He comes in and he'll pop you. He's a hitter, no question about it.
Going back to the penalty, it was not holding on Stringer. They called him for an illegal formation. Apparently, he was an uncovered, ineligible receiver at that end of the line.
Means a wide receiver had to be up on the line. He was too far back.
Kurt Sohn, who had that key punt return in overtime to set up the win against New England last Sunday, is back at the 10-yard line for the Jets. Mike Black averaging about 42.5 yards per punt on the year. He kicked for Rogers at Arizona State. Short, end over end, fair catch Sohn at the 22-yard line. So Jennings and Black, their first punts are both quite short. That one was 32 yards, 2:53 remaining in the first period. Well, the Vikings and the Lions back in 1968 in the mud of then Briggs Stadium. You played the year before, and then you also played here in the Silverdome.
67. I played 2 of these games, 67 and 75. We were lucky enough to win both of them. But out in the mud, it's a different ball game, believe me.
I'm going to ask you about that, whether you liked it better in the mud or on the hard carpet. Jets trailing 3-0. Less than 3 minutes left, first quarter. Ken O'Brien with a flag down. He's got his man for a possible first down. Al Toon. Angelo King with a tackle at the 35. We'll check the flag. Motion against the Jets. Yeah, their holiday spent with a lunch pail as well. Chuck Eberling's crew of Messrs.
Illegal motion. Number 44, offense.
Johnson,
5 yards,
Oram,
first
Jury,
down.
Dodes, and Skelton.
Jets 1st and 10 of the New York 17. 1st and 15.
Did you like playing in the mud?
I actually did. Of course, I felt it was to my advantage because I could block out the pain mentally, and I didn't have to handle the football, but I kind of enjoyed it.
Draw play to Hector. And the former Texas A&M star. Teamed with Ernest Jackson, former Charger now with Philadelphia Eagles with the Aggies. Brought down by Curley and Eric Williams.
On the tackle for Detroit, Curtis Green. 2nd down, 9.
Have a big Sunday coming up on NBC. And don't forget the Giants, you folks watching in New York. The Giants will be here on the home of the Peacock on Sunday. So join us at 12:30 for NFL 85 prior to the Giants game. O'Brien looking deep. Throws underneath, incomplete to Wesley Walker coming back to meet the ball. Walker, who had that 88-yard touchdown against New England on Sunday. Jimmy Williams, the closest Lion. It's 3rd down.
Good training there, as you saw both receiver and quarterback reacting to a problem. They weren't open early. Walker sensed that his quarterback was in trouble and headed back. Good receiver comes back to the football in that situation. Ball thrown a little bit too hot for Walker to handle, but the idea was right, and the experience was good.
Toon to the right. Rocky Cleaver now in. He's to the left. And Sohn now in motion. Down goes O'Brien. The 2nd sack and the 49th time this year. Ken O'Brien has been dropped trying to pass. William Gay credited with a sack, his 4th of the year. So Gay has had a big first quarter. He's the man who forced the fumble that led to the Lions field goal.
Started his NFL career as a tight end and moved inside to become a very aggressive defensive lineman. Pressure from outside and from inside. You see his legs stripped away by Gay. No chance for O'Brien.
As you see, Dave Jennings will take the snap right on the goal line. Pete Manley back at the Lions 43. Short kick. Manley has a chance to return. Juggling reception. And now dropped at the Jets' 40-yard line. So good field position for the Detroit Lions. 34-yard punt. 8 yards on the return by Manley. 1 minute, 11 seconds remaining in the first quarter. And the Jets are down to Detroit 3-0. Up this weekend. James Jones gains a yard at best into the grasp of Joe Klecko, or Jim Jones, as he called himself back in his semi-pro days. That was an interesting feature by Ahmad Rashad as he chatted with the likable Klecko.
And also Joe Klecko.
Here is Joe Klecko, number 73, in that angled position, that Steeler position. You see him just throwing Mott to the outside, and Klecko there to wrestle down the running back. A tremendous combination of quickness and strength.
Jones, the workhorse, can't break the fourth tackle as he was bouncing off Jets white shirts, and Lance Mel and Harry Hamilton without the helmet finally bring him down. No gain.
Again, Klecko penetrating, driving inside on that play.
Joe Klecko, a possible passing situation on 3rd and 9. This is where he's so tough. Darrell Rogers was saying we almost have to sign 2 men to block him, and that leaves Lance Mel an uncovered defender. As the gun sounds, the end of the first quarter here at the Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan. The score in this Thanksgiving traditional, the Lions 3, the Jets. A passing situation, 3rd and long for Eric Hipple against 6 defensive backs. Over the middle, what a catch by Mark Nichols, and a first down at the 26-yard line. Nichols' first catch of the year. Let's see how he got open, Bob Greasy.
Well, Dick, Mark Nichols right here, lined up right here. The linebacker will blitz, leaving this whole area open. He's just going to run to the middle of the field, and it's a very good throw by Eric Hipple. See, the linebacker blitzes, leaves the middle of the field open. He releases to the inside and across. Good throw out in front of the receiver. Big first down for Detroit.
Nichols from San Jose State.
Excuse me, Dick, something we didn't see. Hipple leveled again. He's been hit a number of times, and he's got sore ribs. He's got a sore body in general.
Showing all the protection he can get, he says. Fires open again. Leonard Thompson. He has a touchdown. His point after try, right down the middle. And the Lions, true to form, tough at home. 70,000 has cheered the Lions into a 10-0 lead over the favored New York Jets. And Eddie Murray now to kick to Johnny Hector and Bobby Humphrey. It's to Humphrey's side. He's going to take it out. Hector tried to keep him in the end zone. Humphrey wouldn't listen, and maybe with good cause. He's all the way to the 28, and for a moment it appeared he might go even farther. Let's go back now to the touchdown 25-yard pass, Hipple to Leonard Thompson.
Leonard Thompson working one-on-one on Bobby Jackson. And Jackson, you remember, has a neck strain. He doesn't put his head in on the tackle. And because of that, missed the tackle and allowed Thompson to get away. A case where an injury really hurt him.
Leonard Thompson. I wonder if they'll replay that on his radio station in Phoenix. KSUN, K-Sun in Phoenix. Interestingly, it's an all-children's radio station. That's their format, night and day, just the program to the kids. O'Brien has a man open, Wesley Walker, and Walker's to the 24 of Detroit. There's the big play from the Jets, and O'Brien may not be happy he had a touchdown had he strung it out there a little farther.
Dick, the key is here, the play-action fake. Watch the safety right here. Graham is going to get beat. Walker's going to come from this side, but all the play acting in here is going to pull him up, and then the throw is going to go over his head. See the play action up front. Graham, 33, holds, steps forward, and now it's too late. Walker is behind him, and a big play for the Jets.
Boy, that illustrates how really fast this game is. He just took that one false step, and suddenly there's Walker flying by him. First down, Jets at the 24. Schuler in motion. Another play action for O'Brien. Intercepted and dropped. Oh, my. Angelo King had it right in his mitts as they volleyballed it around in the Lions secondary, but no one could squeeze it. There's Vernon Maxwell.
Several Lions with their hands on that football. Vernon Maxwell, number 98, also had a chance at it. We'll see it from the other side of the field. O'Brien, I think, deciding he wanted to run here at the last minute, seeing a receiver open, flicked that ball, but thrown a little too hard. Oh, it's right in your hands, and you've got a chance to keep going with some open field.
It was Maxwell, the number 2 pick of the Colts a couple of years ago out of Arizona State. With second life, O'Brien just misses connections with Johnny Hector, and a flag is down. Maybe a late hit on O'Brien.
I think William Gay is the man who came in and leveled O'Brien late from the backside, and that's going to be costly to Detroit Lions. They'll mark off the big penalty, but O'Brien shaking his head.
This unnecessary roughness, roughing the passer. Number 79, defense. First down.
Gay on O'Brien, and you can feel this 10 yards.
New York Jets, first and 10.
Ooh. Oh, he gets sandwiched and a whiplash tackle. Eric Williams was in there as well, and he was holding O'Brien from one side, and Gay delivered the crushing blow. It's a 15-yard penalty that takes it down to the 12-yard line, and a first down with it. Hector caught from the backside, but Curtis Green, who played his football at Alabama State.
We talked about the bend but don't break philosophy of this Lion defense. Well, they kind of changed their whole philosophy when they get inside that 20-yard line, and they suddenly get very aggressive. They come with the blitz as they did on that play, throwing Maxwell very aggressively from the outside. With his penetration that really broke up that play.
Toon to the right, Walker left. O'Brien looking for Toon. Instead goes, almost intercepted by Bobby Watkins as he cut in front of Mickey Schuler. Schuler, the tight end, crossing. And Watkins played it very well. Number 27 from Southwest Texas State, the Bobcats, who were the Division II national champions 2 years ago.
O'Brien has very good rapport, good feelings on these kind of downs for Mickey Schuler. On this particular down, Schuler fighting as hard as he can to get away. But I don't know that O'Brien saw that shot from Bobby Watkins. Bobby drifted into that picture. Quarterback has got to see those other defenders coming in like that.
Now the crowd into it. Again, almost intercepted by the Lions. John Bostic had it. William Frizzell was there as well. But it was Bostic who could have had the touchback for Detroit. Instead, the Jets have a chance for 3.
I think that's the 4th time today that O'Brien has put it in the hands of these Detroit defenders. And if this defense has had a weakness on pass defense, besides the problems they've had covering people, it's the inability of their defensive backs to catch the ball when it's in their hands. They have done it again today. Knock it down. Frying pan hands.
Leahy from 29. And the New York Jets have their first points of this afternoon with 12 minutes and a tick left in this first half. It's the Detroit Lions 10, the New Lions defense. Harris and Brown and Sam Williams, Darius McCord, Joe Schmidt. Oh, what a kick. A.J. Jones, if he lets that ball go, actually his foot was out of bounds, so the ball should be out of bounds to get it at a chance to kick it over again with a 5-yard penalty.
I think they're saying because he had one foot out of bounds that that's exactly what's going to happen. We'll let the officials sort it out.
There's the penalty flag. Yes, it'll be an illegal procedure call against the Jets. There's a break for the Lions.
Awareness. You've got to know where that sideline is. Had his feet just barely been in bounds and he'd taken the step out of bounds, they would have had to put it into play inside their own 5-yard line.
I don't think he knew where that foot was. He was lucky.
He really was.
So, Jam Jones, A.J. Jones. This is a tough Lions team. They have a June Jones and a John James and an A.J. Jones. So, after the 5-yard penalty, Leahy will have to kick it from the 30-yard line. You were saying that Roger Brown, who was such a great tackle with the Lions, we saw that shot as they embraced Bart Starr. Then you had to play again. You played offense that year?
Well, I played defensive tackle, and I started all through that year. But we were getting ready to come to Detroit. Our coach was mad at our 2 starting guards and the starting center, benched them, put some defensive players in those positions, including me, and told us we were going to play both ways. And he said, and Merlin, you're going to play on Roger Brown. And I said, what?
Who was he mad at? Leahy kicking again to Jones, former Texas star at the 20. Ooh, as he ripped it at the 25, and he's to the 27 in the grasp of Tom Baldwin, number 95. The Jets, again, starting deep. Well, they've started deep in their own end. The Lions have had the better field position.
This is so often a game of field position, Dick, and the Jets praying for a chance to start early or start out in the middle of the field somewhere. The Lions, on the other hand, have had tremendous field position all day long. Here they are again. Not in great field position. This is about as bad as they've started all day long. There are the drives. Started on their 37, the 29, 39, and their 27. Good field position all day long.
Twice in New York territory, and those two led the scores. Knocked away. Mark Nichols, the intended target, and Johnny Lynn got there just in time. The pass seemed to float a bit, got a little push and shove going. Said, wait a minute, I wanted the white meat. No, you said you wanted the drumstick. Dorney, Keith Dorney, the former All-American at Penn State.
He's playing in the middle and has only played a couple of games at guard. He's a tackle. Can you imagine the responsibility you'd have of taking on Joe Klecko in the middle there? Dorney and Klecko locked up. I mean, that is nose to nose. I don't think that anyone in the league is playing better in the defensive line than Klecko. And when you have to play an unusual position, going from tackle to guard, and then take on Klecko too, that's a load.
Hipple to Thompson, incomplete. And again, the Lions ever so close to making connections, but Bobby Jackson and Kirk Springs got there in time to knock it away. Keith Dorney, not only is he moving to a strange position from tackle to guard, never played guard before this year, he's playing with a painful broken toe.
Just go out there and you do the best you can. Certainly the toe's going to hurt a little bit, but you just have to try to block it out and go out and do your job, regardless of how your toe feels.
Look at the way those feet are being jammed around. I saw him get stepped on in practice on Tuesday, and the pain, he jumped clear up off the ground. Said a few things that I was glad to be able to close my ears to.
Like a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs with that bad toe. Oops. Stringer, number 71, the right tackle, moved back, and that'll cost the Lions 5.
False start, number 71, offense.
Let's go inside. The tremendous pressure. A lot of these players are wearing basketball shoes, not football shoes. There are the feet of Stringer right there, moving too quickly. But look at the kind of quick foot movement, the kind of feet, and look how they're stepping all over on each other. Dorney glad to get out of that one without that toe aching anymore.
Now, anyone who's ever had just a bad toe or sore toe knows how tough it is to get around walking. Here's a man playing football with 200, 300 pounders jumping on you.
He does have some medical help, though. I'm sure they put some painkiller in that toe.
3rd and 15 for the Lions, who lead 10-3. 11 and a half minutes, first half. Wide open and a first down. Pete Mandley from Northern Arizona, the number 2 pick of the Lions last year. He's starting to deliver here late in 85.
Receiver to catch a pass is going to break to the inside and catch the ball right over the middle for the first down.
Detroit, 42.
3rd and 15. The defensive backs come man-to-man coverage. The flanker trails him to the inside, and a good catch by the young receiver.
And Hipple's done a good job picking up first downs on 3rd and long. James Jones was very busy early in the game, and suddenly they are reminded that talented Jones is back there. They give him a couple of yards.
They would get a shot at Pete Mandley. Interesting, you look down there, he's wearing a glove on one hand and no glove on the other hand. And I said, isn't that a little strange? He said, well, when I was a freshman in college, I broke a finger on my hand. There he is on the sideline. He said, I broke a finger on my left hand, and I taped it, but I didn't get the kind of support, so I got a glove. It's a football glove that gave me some protection on the left hand, and I've worn one glove ever since.
Well, Michael Jackson, a great Northern Arizona fan, noted that, and trends do begin somewhere. Incomplete. Mark Nichols, the intended receiver, and Johnny Lynn bats it away.
Well, the good defensive backs kind of burp those receivers, just like you burp a baby. They let them get that ball up in the air, and then they say, hey, think about the ribs here.
Lynn, who played his football out in Westwood, California. UCLA in the Rose Bowl again for Terry Donahue, and we'll have that, of course, here on NBC. And what a great January 1st lineup we have here on NBC.
Rather frazzled Bud Carson, defensive coordinator, not happy, I'm sure, with the way his defense is playing so far in this game.
3rd down 8. Hipple over the middle, and Thompson was open. Pass was a little high, but Leonard knows he should have caught it.
Bobby Jackson on that play, and Leonard Lyles collided. Lyles up in almost a linebacking position, trying to get to the outside to cover the motion man, ran right into Jackson and knocked him down. And had Hipple been able to get that ball on target, that would have been a giant gain.
Darrell Rogers, who played his college ball at Fresno State, is a wide receiver. In fact, a couple of years, or tried to in the NFL with the Lions as with the LA Rams as a defensive back. Kurt Sohn is deep at the 10. Black's second punt of the afternoon. Sohn, fair catch at the 23-yard line. The Jets trailing by a touchdown, in possession of the pumpkin after a 33-yard kick by Mike Black. We have 9:56 remaining in the Ahmad Rashad's proposal. You know, when a guy has to use the network to make the phone call, what kind of ring's he going to give her?
Yeah, that's something definitely wrong with that. And the other thing, what if she says no now? Think about that. Has he heard yet?
Well, Johnny Hector rings the bell for about 8 as he's to the 31-yard line.
Kind of reminds me, Dick, of one of the first times I asked a girl to dance with me and walked all the way across the room. I said, would you like to dance? She said, no. Where do you go? Here's the way the Jets have started today. As you can see, they have had tough field position all day long. When you have that far to go, it makes it very hard on an offense.
A 48-yard pass from O'Brien to Wesley Walker got them in position for their only points, a field goal. Hector has a first down at the 35-yard line. Bobby Watkins trips him up. And
August Curley and Curtis Green.
Johnny Hector continues to
Jets first and 10. All
be
five.
the dominant runner in this game.
30.
He certainly is running well, but he is not Freeman McNeil. And the Jets really miss Freeman's cutting and slashing because he's the home run hitter. I'm sure he is upset about not having a chance to play today, but he does want to heal. And I don't blame him for that either.
Now, Hector again. Good chunk of yardage, 8 more for Hector, who's now over 40 yards in this first half. Jimmy Williams, 59, assisted by Bruce McNorton.
If you're going to control a 3-4 defense, you've got to control that nose man. Eric Williams right here. And that 65, Joe Fields. Look how he just turns that nose man aside and just turns him right away. Hector takes the slant through there and gets a nice gain.
That'll make Joe Fields' mom down in St. Petersburg, Florida, please. She's quite a fan. Hector has the first down, and we say quite a fan, not just of her son. Obviously, you watch your own boy play, but Joe Fields says, my mom will tape other games so that when she's watching mine, she can go watch the other games she missed someplace else. She really was the inspiration. Fields said, I was going to go to a college that didn't have a football team. My mom says, oh, no, you don't. You go somewhere where they have a program. Went to little Widener College and eventually picked off by the New York Jets and now a star in the NFL.
Dick, you make a good point. We dedicated this game to the moms and the wives and the grandmoms, and I'll tell you, the women know an awful lot about this game. We don't always give them enough credit for their football knowledge and for their interest.
I'd never take a test with your wife, Susan. I know that. Oh! Al Toon, and fortunately for O'Brien, and maybe by design, he was blown away on that throw.
That's a particular defense that Wayne Fonts had put in. They know that the Jets like that stop pattern. That's about an 8-yard run out and then a stop. There's Wayne Fonts signaling in the defense. He said, we're going to make it look like we're dropping off and then stop. We're hoping we can catch them throwing that stop pattern and intercept it and go all the way. Had McNorton not stumbled, he may well have done it on that last play.
On the 47, 2nd and 10 for O'Brien. It might be a fumble. If it is, it's a Lions ball. Let's wait for the officials. Yep, fumble. Recovered by William Gay. Curtis Green, 62, hit him from the backside. And they say that O'Brien's arm was not going forward. That's the second fumble by the Jets quarterback.
O'Brien and just lost that football. I don't think anyone hit him as he had his hand out there. He gets away from the pressure as you look at it from the other side of the field. Watch him. Does a good job here of avoiding the pressure. One shot from the backside, but no one has a hold of him here. Just started to whip that ball back. It slipped out of his hand, and indeed it was a good call by the officials. Fumble all the way.
Credit Gay with a fumble recovery and a sack. From the 43, Hipple off play action with Klecko all over him. Has a man, Nichols. And a good play by Johnny Lynn. That's a second long gainer denied by Lynn, number 29, at the last moment. Nichols was open behind him.
That'll stop your heart if you're the defensive coordinator, because they had the play. Even though Hipple was under pressure, he's still able to get this ball off. Bobby Jackson not able to get across to help right there. Kirk Springs, 21, coming across as a safety.
Look at the pressure Klecko puts on Hipple.
Oh, you talk about, he's wearing a big set of rib pads to protect him. He said, I wish I had pads for the rest of my body.
Jones with a flag down. And James Jones stretches to the Jets' 36-yard line. Rusty Gilboa with a tackle. We'll check the penalty. Against the Jets. 3-5 for Detroit. There's the jacket being worn by the Lions quarterback.
Hit so hard earlier in the season by Milt McCall when they were playing the 49ers that his back actually went into spasm.
Offside, number 73. Defense, 5 yards, still second down.
Not only his back in spasm, but he separated the rib cartilage. Painful injury. Last week, some of you who watched our opening saw that vicious shot he took from Scott Brantley that just separated ball and helmet, and he lay on the ground for a long time in semi-consciousness. Hipple is one tough quarterback.
He said if you'd have seen him coming, he might have been hurt because he would have braced himself. He said, I didn't even see him. Boy, he felt it. 1st and 5. It's to Mark Nichols, and the Lions have another touchdown. Of the year, and Darrell Rogers' Lions jump in front 16-3.
Mark Nichols going down. He's isolated right here. Jackson tries to get in front, makes a bad decision defensively, tried to get in front to knock that one away and did not make it.
Eddie Murray tacks on the extra point. Now the Detroit Lions.
Springs. The play action is going to go this way. As Hipple comes back, Springs is going to run away. Nichols will come from this side and make the catch. We see the play action. Springs runs to the right side of the field. Hipple throws the ball very quickly way to the inside, gives the receiver a lot of room to run to, and he outruns Johnny Lynn. Springs gets there too late.
Mark Nichols with a Thanksgiving smile.
Maybe the other quarterback, Joe Ferguson, as we get a look at, there's Ferguson. Of course, a Buffalo.
Yard penalty. To Bobby Humphrey at the 8. Humphrey is dangerous and is all the way to the 45-yard line. Humphrey from New Mexico State, the #1 kickoff returner in the NFL last year.
We've got a penalty, though. They're going to mark it back.
It has been a long first half, and now he knows how Don Shula, Tom Landry, Bill Walsh, Bud Grant, the teams that have come to this Silverdome have really tasted unusual punishment from the Lions.
They will block number 59 on the receiving team. First down.
And yet you ask those same teams and others who play the Lions on the road, and they say, how can Detroit be 6-6? Well, you're learning today.
You certainly find out. They play better at home. I think that's the secret.
O'Brien to Schuler. To the 19-yard line, close to a first down. Alderman and Curley with the tackle.
Curley on the tackle for Detroit.
They may have to measure. No, they say he has the necessary yardage just shy of the 20.
You ask, how can a team be so much different from week to week even, as opposed to at home and away? It's emotion, I think. The emotion plays a big role.
Hector darting into the secondary and slammed down at about the 29 after a 9-yard gain. Demetrius Johnson, number 21, with a hit.
High up above the floor of this stadium, the man on the far right, Rich Kotite. Kotite, the offensive coordinator, sending the plays down. Over on the far left, that's Bad Rad. Radakovich, who coaches the linebackers for this team. Two of the brain trusts here.
2nd and 1. And it's the fullback Tony Page with a rare carry. The second-year man from Virginia Tech has a first down at the 33. Usually don't call Page's name until they get into a 1st and goal situation. He has 7 touchdowns, as you can see, on limited carries.
Zeke Bratkowski, he's the quarterback coach. He's done a good job with O'Brien. You see him signaling in the offensive play to the quarterback.
Both Walker and Toon to the left. Give it to Hector. Breaks a tackle in the backfield as William Gay slowed him down. And Hector did a good job to pick up a couple of yards before Eric Williams, 76, could secure.
Let's take a look at William Gay, Dick. One of the reasons why this play doesn't work is penetration into the pocket. As the guard pulls, the runner's going to come this way, but watch William Gay, 79, penetration into the backfield, gets a part of the runner, and that throws off the timing of the play, and his friends get there to make the tackle.
Also got a part of the guard, Dan Alexander, to hold him up.
O'Brien to the outside, Al Toon, and the talented rookie from Wisconsin has a first down. And what a job Toon has done. A starter just 3 games ago, and in 3 games as a starter, he's caught 22 passes, plus this one today.
He's also playing with tightly wrapped ribs. Hurt on the left side of the ribs. Took a real beating in that game against New England last week. This Detroit defense, as we mentioned, tends to lay off a little bit, especially on the corners. We saw Bobby Watkins giving Toon plenty of room on that play.
On first down, O'Brien goes the other way on a one-handed spear by Johnny Hector. And with it, a 5-yard gain before Jimmy Williams can run him off the field of play. Well, 3 games remain after this weekend, and after this game for these two clubs, the Jets will be at Buffalo and then go home for a delightful experience, the Bears and the Cleveland Browns.
9-yard line.
Of course, they're just that 1 game ahead of New England and Miami pursuing in the very competitive AFC East. This is the surprise team, the New York Jets. Play action. O'Brien in trouble again, and down he goes. Jimmy Williams and Curtis Green.
When you talk to the Jets coaches and you talk to people who've had a chance to watch young Ken O'Brien, they say that he has made tremendous progress in his ability to read defenses, in his ability to call plays, in his leadership. The one place he still has trouble is when he cannot find an open receiver and he has to find room in that pocket, make the decision whether he's going to run or try and throw the ball away. And so far, he has always tended to lean toward eating the ball, taking the sack. Well, that's better than throwing a bad pass, but he's got to learn how to throw that ball out of bounds.
He lost 7 yards on that one, plus the punishment you take. He's been sacked 51 times this year, more than any quarterback. Hector, they try to cross up the lines with a run, and Hector, boy, what an effort by him to get to the 50-yard line, but short of a first down by about 3.5. Took almost the entire Lion team to stop Hector, and with 3 minutes left in the half, the Lions will get the ball again with a 17-3 lead.
So far in this game, a much more enthusiastic and a much more determined effort from the Lions, but you can't fault Johnny Hector. He's giving them all he has. So far today, though, the Jets not getting an all-out performance from their team.
Jennings, a couple of short kicks. Manley stands at the 10. 2 turnovers. Lions recovering a couple of fumbles. There's a good kick by Jennings. But will it stay in the field of play? No. Kicks into the end zone, and the Lions will start from their 20. 50 50 yards minus the 20.
First and 10 at their own 20.
Jennings, excuse me, Dick. Jennings, I think, hoping that one of his players could have gotten over there. That ball stayed in the field of play long enough for someone to down it. Flowers had gone down. Of course, he's the specialist that the Jets picked up to play on the special teams exclusively. He'd gone down, and I think he just lost track of that football. There was plenty of time for him to cut over and perhaps get a hand on it. You saw the head shake there. Jennings.
Hipple handing off. And a couple of yards for Alvin Moore. First time he's carried the ball. He's from Arizona State, acquired from the Colts in a trade for Robbie Martin early this year. Ticks down toward the 2-minute warning. Second down and 8 for the Detroit Lions, but it's been a Lions typical first half at home, and that's how they have beaten some quality teams. The Thanksgiving version of the wave here at the Silverdome. The Lions in their 6th possession. As you can see, they've scored 2 touchdowns and a field goal and punted twice. They've not turned it over. It's second down and 8 at the Detroit 22. Jones hit by Nell. Lynn supporting at the 24-yard line, and the Jets will use a timeout. 1 minute and 53 seconds remaining in the half. The Jets hoping they'll get one more chance to cut into the Lions' lead. Clock here in the first half, and the Jets hoping they can stop Hipple and the Lions get the ball back. With 1:52 remaining. But they won't. Leonard Thompson has a first down at the 34. Bobby Jackson with a tackle. And now the clock will run, 1:42. And now the Lions may try to move and add to that 17-3 lead.
The Lions, I think, who would have been content with that to go into the locker room, now have field position. They have the advantage here. Although the clock is ticking, they haven't called a timeout. Nice play as they bring the receiver all the way across. Thompson, who was running that play beautifully on Tuesday in practice, makes it work here in the ball game.
Down. Will throw. This time to Alvin Moore. And Moore stops the clock at the 42-yard line. Kirk Springs there for the Jets after a 9-yard play.
At the 42.
Springs from Miami of Ohio.
At 2.
Native of Cincinnati. Make that an 8-yard gain. Second down and 2 at the 42 with 1 minute 8 seconds remaining in the half. At halftime, Cloyce Buck. Some of you old-timers will remember the lanky wide receiver of the Lions. And he's had a very successful life after football and has shared it with football and his former teammates. It's a nice story. I hope you stay with us. That'll stop the clock. 1:03 left. The Lions would be leading 21-3, but for a sure touchdown drop by tight end Rob Rubik on their first opportunity.
I'm sure, though, Dick, that they're extremely pleased with the lead they have on the clock and the fact that they have simply outplayed the Jets in virtually every department in this first half.
Third down and 12. Make that third down and 2 at the 42. Hipple looking for Thompson. Almost intercepted by Kirk Springs. Jackson was there as well, but it was Springs who had his eyes focused on an interception.
The timing, and it's something that Bob Greasy talked about early. You work every day on this surface, and the timing is different on an artificial surface. They know exactly where that ball is going to be. Of course, Bobby Jackson didn't. It was only the aggressive play by Kirk Springs there coming across from his safety position that saved the catch.
The Jets with 2 timeouts remaining will get the ball. 57 seconds on the clock at the moment. Clock stopped and Sohn back at his 11-yard line. Mike Black, a line drive. Sohn racing up to the 22. Now looking for the wall. Can't find it. And is down at the 27-yard line. Carl Bland and William Boo Boo Frizzell made the tackle.
It was a line drive kick that many felt cost this Lion team a victory last week. They needed to keep the Tampa Bay Bucks pinned down. Black hit a line driver and allowed the Bucks to get down to put the winning points on the ballgame, the tying points on the game, and eventually to win it. And earlier in the year, the same problem. So Black, I'm sure, will get instructions as he heads to the sideline about getting that ball up in the air.
And stay with us for NFL 85. You'll gobble up the Turkey Awards of Pete Axholm. Did he trap it? Yes. Incomplete pass to Schuler. He did a good job of trying to quickly trap that ball and tuck it home.
It's like a catcher moving that ball back into the strike zone. No question about it. It does come off the ground here as he goes down to try and scoop it.
Saw it bounce in, and the officials alertly on the spot to call it incomplete. 42 seconds left. 2nd and 10 for the Jets. They trail 17-3. Rocky Cleaver. That'll be enough for a first down at the 39. Angelo King and company with a tackle, and the Jets spend. No, they do not. They're letting the clock run.
There
now they stop it. They have one timeout remaining. No, they don't.
Yeah.
I saw the official wind it up. Flag down. We have holding or a roughing penalty against the Lions. Hector catches the ball, and the clock stopped on the penalty with 16 seconds left. Demetrius Johnson made the hit.
Billy Shields, number 66, in there for Reggie McElroy, and I believe maybe he's the one that they're going to ticket.
Holding, offense, number 66, 10 yards, first down.
Boy, you don't miss very often on those holding calls, do you, big guy?
I'll tell you, I got held enough times that I kind of see those hands go out, and I see guys drugged down. But we talked earlier about the day I played against Roger Brown. I held like a son of a gun.
The first admission. Written apology on its way, Roger. Later joined Merlin as part of the fearsome foursome out for the Rams. Small world. Hector. The time running out, and Hector springs a long gain to the 45, and the Jets do call time with 9 seconds remaining. And Hector, 16 more yards, so it appears that Hector is going to get his 100-yard day, but it's empty so far. 83 yards for the half for Johnny Hector. Well, it would appear that Walton O'Brien, with 9 seconds left, will try to go for the quick pass, maybe toward the sidelines, although they have a timeout remaining, maybe a 20-yard gain, and hope that Pat Leahy can come in for a long field goal try. Plus 20 is the best in the league, the Bears, in the turnover table. The Jets are second best with a plus 13.
But they were the best in the league in the giveaway department. And, of course, the problem that they've had today, the two that they gave it away. Here are those two plays where O'Brien fumbled the ball, both of which ended up giving the Lions good field position and giving the Lions points on the board. That first one a fumble. This is the second play where he just lost the ball as he's trying to get it up to throw it. Both of those, of course, recovered by William Gay, who's had an outstanding day so far.
One led to a field goal, another a touchdown, and the 17-3 lead. And so the Lions protecting the ball. No turnovers, and the Jets best in the AFC. And there goes O'Brien down, and with it any hope of a final score in the half for the New York Jets. Another sack, the 5th of the first half for the Lions. And William Gay, if memory serves me, has 3 of those. He had 3 all year and 3.5 against New York today. Happy Thanksgiving, William.
Treat for the whole family tonight.
A public proposal to Felicia Ayres Allen of The Cosby Show. Hey, Ahmad, you got to be sharp. Get that little piece of Kleenex off your chin. Well, the man is falling apart. In the days prior to his proposal, he was easily one of the coolest, most suave guys around the National Football League. He's a mess now. I mean, he just can't pull himself together. But you'll be happy to learn that Felicia Ayres Allen, Claire Huxtable of The Cosby Show, is ready with her answer. Felicia?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I'm cool. But, you know, I'm starting to feel some of that momentum that the Detroit Lions have out there. I guess in my best Dick Enberg impression, oh, my.
So when's the happy day?
We don't know yet. We haven't set a day yet. I guess we haven't set a day. Have you set a day? No, don't say it. If you have, just be quiet. Tell me first.
I guess I'm being quiet here, I guess. Do I have to ask your television husband for your permission?
As a matter of fact, I did. I spoke with Bill, and...
Bob Greasy is helping Ahmad towel off.
And Bill says he's very pleased.
Will Bill Cosby give the bride away?
Yes.
Oh, nice touch. Now,
It's the first opportunity of this second half. The Lions 6-6 fighting for a chance at a wild card, and the Jets battling to stay in first in the East. And Manley bounced out of bounds at the 24-yard line. First half statistics, Merlin Olsen, and just one big number, and that's the second to last column.
Turnovers, really the situation, and we gave you a look earlier at the kind of field position that these teams have played out of. And, of course, the Jets basically starting way down in their own area. You see the rushing yardage, and I talked about control of the line of scrimmage. Certainly favors the Jets as we expected, but that has not been as big a factor as we thought it would be.
2 Eric Hipple touchdown throws, 17-3. Jones gets only a couple, maybe only a yard to the 25-yard line. Joe Klecko there for the Jets.
I would like to have been in the New York Jets locker room at halftime. I would imagine that there were some pretty interesting things said by Joe Walton. He's an easygoing coach, but I think as he left the field, he was very angry. And you see the tightness of his jaws here. He's expecting his Jets to come out and show some of the enthusiasm that they lacked in that first half.
Davlin Mullen, number 20, is playing the left corner. Bobby Jackson, bothered by that neck injury, not starting the second half. Hipple on 2nd and 9. Almost throws it to a New York Jet. Harry Hamilton was there for the Jets as the ball overthrown by Hipple.
Hipple pointing to himself saying, my fault. The Lions have utilized that play action into the right-hand side, running a play right at Gastineau and then quickly rolling out the other way. They've been getting extra time for Hipple to throw the football, and as you can see, his numbers on the day, very good. The big number, and an area where he's had problems, interceptions, he had 0 for the day.
And he's always been hot as a Lion quarterback at home. He's 18-4 as a starter here in the Silverdome. 3rd and 9. Chased by Lions. He throws, intercepted by Mullen. Davlin Mullen down at the Jets 48. There's the first turnover against the Lions, and let's see if the Jets capitalize.
We speak about that big number being interceptions and a big 0. It suddenly will flash a 1 as Hipple threw a bad pass. No other way to describe it.
Here it is as Mullen for Bobby Jackson gets his 3rd intercept of the year.
Gastineau getting pressure there. Looked like Gastineau may have hurt himself a little bit. He's being assisted off the field, walking tenderly as he heads for the sideline.
Jets had broken huddle, but with Gastineau just getting off the field to play, referee Heberling asking them to rehuddle.
Here's the end of that play as he buries a shoulder into Hipple. Looked like Alvin Moore may have whipped his legs into Gastineau. Oh, I think what he did is just pop that ankle, left ankle a little bit.
Johnny Hector, who had a big first half, sprints to the Lion 33, but a flag is down.
Great big play. A great big play. You can see Gastineau's pain, but the pain for the Jets continues as that fine run by Hector is going to be called back by a penalty.
That would have been another 19 yards for Hector, who had 82 in the first half. Mickey Schuler, number 82, reading the lips of Heberling. See what happened to Mark Gastineau. Maybe from this angle we can tell. He goes through, drives his helmet into Hipple, And then apparently the injury happening right here. You saw that right ankle turn underneath his own body.
And that's what happens on the turf. The foot will catch, and it doesn't slide as it would on the natural turf.
First down and 20, and the Lions are waiting for the draw, and Hector is swallowed up. No gain. Jimmy Williams, 59. Jimmy Williams, whose brother Toby drafted out of Nebraska by the New England Patriots. Jimmy was a first-round pick of the Lions, and he sent this message to his older brother. Eat lots of turkey, Toby. We're going to come and pluck you the next game. Of course, the Lions play in New England a week from Sunday.
That game, of course, will have significance in that AFC East, the race the Jets are in right now. A loss here and a win by New England will put them back in a tie.
On second down and 20, O'Brien to Schuler, dragging tacklers to the Lions' 48-yard line, where it'll still be third and about 7.
Taking Gastineau's equipment apart, they got his shoe off. He may just have jammed that ankle. He works constantly on flexibility, and he may just have scared himself on that play a little bit.
You know, watching him work out yesterday, did you see his upper arms on the front and the back of the arms? They were just all black and blue, testimony to the beating that, well, everyone is hurt. I mean, there's no one who says, hey, I feel great at this time of the year in an NFL season. He was kicked in the shins, we understand. 3rd and 5. O'Brien has to swallow it again.
The sticking point. We talked about it early in the game. Bob Greasy talked about it at halftime. O'Brien, when he cannot find the open receivers, still has a moment of hesitation. Can't decide whether to get rid of that football or to run, and it's that sticking point that has killed him here today. 6th sack of the day. There's the decision as he tries to break it away, and it's Eric Williams, the nose tackle, who comes all the way around Joe Fields to finally get him. Hidden under a wall of bodies there.
Dave Jennings to punt. He averaged just 40 yards a kick in the first half. That's a good one. Pete Manley inside the 10. 20. 30-yard line goes Manley, and the Lions come out of that one rather nicely. Guy Bingham made the tackle for the Jets, who continue to struggle here at the Silverdome with 3 minutes gone in the third quarter.
The first thing I think about is avoiding the 2 Hawks on the opposing team's punting unit. Those are the 2 widest men with the first release after the punt is made. After the catch and after avoiding those 2 people, I try to make something happen in terms of getting outside or inside and getting up the field.
What a good job for Manley. 20 yards on that return. James Jones, the fullback for 3. Kyle Clifton, the tackler for the Jets. Now the Lions, 17-3 the lead, and kind of a quiet Thanksgiving Day game. We haven't heard a lot of noise from the robust fans here in Michigan, and we certainly haven't heard much from the players from New York. Hipple on 2nd and 7. Jones again. No gain. Lance Mell, injured arch and all, in for another tackle. He leads the Jets on the season in tackles.
Also on the tackle, philosophy stays the same for this Lion offense, and they realistically don't need to change it. It's been very successful. Hammering again on the right-hand side. And obviously, seeing Gastineau walk off the field with that injury, they've gone right back at him. Using that and then coming off of it with either counteraction to the other side or play action passing.
And it's a pass down. Hipple to accommodate. Over the middle to Leonard Thompson. First down. Boy, Thompson seems to be open anytime they want him on those crossing patterns.
Timing patterns across the middle. They know they're going to get one-on-one coverage. It's a pressing defense that the Jets are using, and Hipple doing a good job of putting that ball well up in front. Let's look and see why Hipple had so much time. You see Gastineau trying to drive inside and come off that injured ankle. He simply could not make it. Lost his feet in the turf. Good job of blocking out there as well by Stringer.
Jackson's 4th catch. Draw play and a fumble. And did Alvin Moore get it back for the Lions? Apparently he did. So Moore, who was carried only once prior to that handoff, and a bad exchange, but he was able to wrap it up and keep it in the Lions' possession.
Joe Klecko gets tremendous penetration from that nose position. You see him angled there. Watch him as he drives in. Here's the man that'll come up inside. The collision is what is going to cause this fumble. Klecko right there, driving through, gets his shoulder, his fist right into that football, and Moore alertly able to pounce on it to save the turnover.
Moore again on the draw, and it's wide open for him. First down at the Jets' 45. Lance Bell finally caught him after a 13-yard gain.
The biggest gain of the day for the rushing offense of the Detroit Lions. They crossed up the Jets. The Jets reading pass on the play. They got that little draw play into Alvin Moore, and he gets the good yardage.
Played for Darrell Rogers at Arizona State. Rogers has really done an excellent job with all the injuries. The new coach has put some new pieces in the puzzle. Flags down as Jones is hammered at the 37-yard line by Rusty Gilbo. Penalty on the play. And while they check that out, we'd like to remind you that today's game from the Silverdome between the Lions.
Defensive team declined by the Lions. Hipple wants to understand exactly what the options were.
Well, they've marked off 5 yards against the Jets.
That was the announcement. Well,
They declined the 5-yard penalty, and they took the 8-yard gain.
What they're saying is the captain called it without looking to the sideline, and Rogers wanted them to take the 1st and 5.
Instead, it's 2nd and 2. James Jones and Moore staying there. And it's Jones battling for the first down at the Jets 33. Jets trying to scrape the ball away, but unsuccessfully.
The ball loose momentarily on the ground, but apparently Jones able to get his hands back on it.
Oh, he's in the language of the players themselves, a horse at 6'2" and 230.
Billy Sims talked about him, and of course he blocked for Billy when he first got here. Sims said he was the finest blocker he ever ran in behind, and also called him one of the most aware football players he had ever seen.
First down, and the Lions trying to add to their 17-3 lead. Open again, Mark Nichols at the 19. Every time Hipples looks for a man open over the middle on a crossing pattern, he seems to be free.
Such crispness in these patterns. And again, I think the sense of timing that you can develop on a surface and in an auditorium, and this is almost an auditorium of this kind, they know what the footing is going to be like. They're right there with the pass and with the cut, the timing pattern that is very difficult to stop with a man-to-man defense.
Covers it for the Lions at the 26-yard line. James Jones unable to handle that exchange.
Twice the ball has been on the ground in this drive, and I think Marty Lyons may have made a mistake on this play. Number 93, it looked like Marty had a chance to dive on that ball. I think he wants to pick it up here. Oh, I guess he just lost it. That's unfair, Marty, and I apologize. He lost the football. It slid away from him, and Eric Hipple followed it all away and got his body on it.
2nd down and 17. A reminder that later on we'll be selecting our Budweiser most valuable player in today's game. Alvin Moore, just for a couple. Rusty Gilbo. And Lester Lyles on the tackle. Clock running, 6 minutes left in the third quarter. Lions lead by 2 touchdowns.
Let's pass out a few bouquets along that offensive line. Steve Mott working hard on Klecko off the front. And, of course, Dorney inside, Stringer outside on that right-hand side. We've seen them hammering all day on the right-hand side. Back on that other side, Dietrich and the big rookie, Lomas Brown. They've done a good job in there.
Darryl Rogers feels this is the strength for the future of the Lions, that young, basically young offensive line. He's looking for Nichols, and that's going to be interference. Davlin Mullen on his back. Meanwhile, Hipple very slow in getting up as he was knocked on his front. It'll be first down for the Lions.
Trying to get the ball in here, Dick, over the middle. Now watch all these men right here. A safety blitz. Everybody is coming up the middle. Hipple had to throw it. He didn't have enough time. He didn't have everybody blocked. If he did, he could have waited a little bit longer, but the ball was underthrown, and that is really what's caused the interference.
A costly mistake. I think Davlin Mullen could have let it go. I don't think it would have ever been caught, but Mullen, sensing that perhaps it would be a touchdown, tried to get over the top to knock it away and caused the penalty, pick up a first down just outside the 8-yard line.
15 yards on the penalty. Fake to Jones, the throw to Thompson. Oh, my. Doubters, oh sure they beat Dallas, yeah, and they took Miami and San Francisco, but can they beat the Jets? Now it's late in the year and the Jets are in first place. Boy, Darryl Rogers and the home cooking here in Pontiac, what a formula.
Now if they can just figure out how to take the Silverdome with them on the road.
That's right. If only it weren't so heavy. Murray, yeah.
Great move. Just broke inside, left Davlin Mullen hanging, and pulls it out for the touchdown. No way should I expect the Jets to be blown out this way.
Hector at the 1-yard line. 25, 30, 40, and finally Bostic bumps him out of bounds near midfield at the 47 of the Jets. Bob Gracie loves to keep his eyes on the quarterback.
It's a situation, the right play at the right time, Dick. The strong safety is going to blitz Springs. The weak safety has to go strong side, and when the wide receiver breaks to the inside, there's nobody left there to cover him. Take a look. Springs moves strong side. Thompson gets inside of Mullen. There's no help to the inside. It's just a matter of the right play at the right time.
Thompson had 1 touchdown all year, and he's got 2 on this Thanksgiving Day. O'Brien to Tune, and he's out of bounds at the 43 of the Lions. That'll be close to a first down.
Tune doing a little tap dance on the sideline there. Looked like he was going out of bounds a yard short of that first down, and at the last second, he'll just hop. Watch his feet. This is a rookie. He's headed to the sideline. Watch that little tap dance. He jumps down, gets both toes down for first down yardage. That's a very smart play.
And a great athlete. He was a triple jumper and hurdler in college at Wisconsin and invited to the Olympic trials in both events. There he is again, and almost Bobby Watkins the other way for the Lions. And that's about all it would have taken, as the Jets are already in a mighty deep well, down 24-3, and Watkins had a sure 6 if he catches that one.
The Detroit Lions continue to knock those footballs away instead of intercepting them. I'm sure Wayne Fonts wants to give his whole defensive backfield core lessons on catching the football, because they have had so many chances today and could have broken this game apart many times in the first half.
2nd and 10. Hector. Nothing there. Eric Williams, the young nose tackle from Washington State, made the stop along with William Frizzell. This telecast presented by authority of the National Football League, intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Detroit Lions and the National Football League is prohibited. 3rd and 10 for the New York Jets. Their first place position alone atop the AFC East in jeopardy now, and New England and Miami will enjoy their holiday all the more if it continues in this pattern. O'Brien. That's 7 times he's been sacked. John Bostic celebrates for the Lions, but it was Steve Bach, number 68, who was there first.
Neil Lomax has been just slightly ahead in the sack race. He's been sacked 48 times to 47 for O'Brien, but the way O'Brien is going, Lomax may get a break this week. He may lose his #1 position, and believe me, that's not an enviable position.
Let me ask you a question about the low interception rate of O'Brien, and not to take anything away from that, but is it that much better when you're sacked that often? He's fumbled twice today. Is that any better than being intercepted?
Both negative stats, but I would say you've got to get somewhere in between, Dick. You've got to be able to throw that football away at times, sometimes take the sack.
Pete Manley, who had a 20-yard return, fumbles, and that might be the break the Jets need. No, the Lions come up with that one. Indeed, Turkey Day in Michigan is a Detroit celebration on this 1985 holiday. 39-yard punt, 6-yard return, and he'll have his very unique opinions about the 45-second clock, who he likes in the Final Four. He'll be talking with, don't call me Bobby, Indiana coach Bob Knight. Al McGuire. Well, I hope he gets his enthusiasm up this year.
Maybe he can coach these Jets to that.
All right, the Lions leading 24-3. Eric Ellsworth Hipple, thank you. And it's been an up and down career for him since he started. I remember on a Monday night in '81 when he started against the Bears, no one knew who Eric Hipple was. He only threw 4 touchdowns.
Who is this guy? He's been up and down. Of course, some of those problems, injury problems. And believe me, I think one of the reasons he's played with so many injuries this year, doesn't dare get out of the lineup, figures it's going to be one of those blank years again.
2nd down and 8. With 3:05 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Jones is hammered. He has really taken some tough licks today. Lance Mel, 56 in on that stop. We talked with a linebacker from Penn State, Mel, yesterday, and asked him talking about the holidays and his father. And I said, well, what was his influence on you? He said, he gave me room to grow. He was there when I had a question, but he let me find out for myself.
Got a nice memory. Very special. We've mentioned, too, I think, early in this game that Mel is playing hurt today, but he is too valuable to come out of that defense, even if he's a half a step slow.
3rd down and 7. Hipple to Jones. Good move by Jones. Will he get the first down? He's knocked down at the 21. That'll be a yard shy of a first down. Terry Hamilton denied the first down. And Hipple is angry. He's taken a couple of borderline hits in terms of releasing the ball and whether or not he was roughed or not.
This is the play that you just saw. Getting away from Steve Mott, number 73, Klecko. I don't know that Klecko could see that ball disappear, though. Klecko's head was down. The defense of the defensive lineman, even though it was late, I don't think Klecko could see the ball go.
Black to punt. Claims he punts the ball 50,000 kicks a year to stay in shape. At least 100 a day during the season and 150 to 200 each day off season. A spinner that comes to Sohn at the 35, 40, 45. Sohn at the 50. Gutty little competitor Sohn is to the 48 of the Lions. 2:02 left in the 3rd quarter. That was a 45-yard punt, 17 yards on the return. It's Lions Day, though, 24-3 over the New York Jets. Time running out in the 3rd. Question is, what does that man have over Ahmad Rashad?
Well, Rex Norris, we've talked about marriage all day, married last night. His wife's name, Alicia. And she must be understanding, but they're getting a nice present here with the way the Lions are playing.
Yeah, what a honeymoon. What a hit. Tony Page hangs on to the ball. Angelo King rattles him, and O'Brien under pressure again.
You almost have the feeling that the defensive man threw the pass. they hit O'Brien and provide the impetus to that ball getting away. Watch the shot he'll take from the backside. Gay is there, 62 coming around from the backside. Curtis Green, and the two of them hit O'Brien from the back. Jimmy Williams from the front. That's a sandwich job right there.
Ken O'Brien's going to say, hey, lock that back door. They've been coming in from that rear side all day on him. 2nd down and 1. Good catch by Page. It's the first New York drive to start on the Detroit half of the field. Looked like the Lions were offside. Oh, Hector will carry on through. No, apparently contact before the snap, and they whistle it dead.
Hector on the run.
We're going to keep our eye on that umpire, Gordon Wells. Of all the officiating jobs there's enough pressure, but the umpire in football.
Encroachment, nose man, 5 yards, first down.
The umpire in football, in essence, is playing in a linebacker position with people flying all around him, and he has to keep his eyes on the ball.
He is one of my favorites. I remember a lot of conversations. He's, of course, the man who calls a lot of the holding penalties. And I used to walk back occasionally to Gordon and say, Gordon, he's holding me. He's holding me. He also has to be a very good athlete and a very aware person to stay out of the traffic.
On first down, O'Brien looking long and has Toon at the 10. Al Toon is in the end zone for a touchdown. Left in the 3rd quarter. Hope for the Jets as they have their first touchdown.
A game that has so thoroughly been dominated by the Lions, and finally just a glimmer. Al Toon breaking down and into the center, finds some openings. In fact, lots of room there. Demetrius Johnson trying to catch up. No chance for him. Bruce McNorton, 29, finally makes the tackle, but he's in the end zone.
His 3rd touchdown, Toon. Oh, he has brilliance written all over him. Pat Leahy's story before. Pat Ryan It's a 24-10 game on the 35-yard touchdown. O'Brien to Toon. With a diagram, here's Bob Greasy.
The key here, Merlin, this time he has time to throw the ball. Walker is going to clear it out, and Toon will come down deep and break to the inside. The ball will be delivered right in this area. As we take a look at the play action to hold the linebackers up front just a little, Walker clears through. Plenty of time for O'Brien. Now he makes a good throw, and Toon gets it into the end zone. Speed of the wide receivers has a lot to do with that.
Demetrius Johnson, number 21, who has to read the eyes of the quarterback, just a little late coming across. Toon, of course, showing you how well he runs with the football. I don't think there's a receiver in football today that does a better job after the catch than Al Toon.
Got 38-inch arms. Can you imagine going to the store? A 31-inch waist and 38-inch arms. And he uses that wing spread. I mean, not only to catch the ball, but to fend off the tackler.
Said yesterday, he said, my high school coach told me that I should think after I catch the football first, but he said, think touchdown. Once you got that football, I've got a chance to score a touchdown, and that might be the most important touchdown of the day.
Now it's up to the Jets defense. The Lions in command, 24-10. Final minute, 3rd quarter. Alvin Hall, who has broken Tommy Watkins' Lion record for kickoff return yardage. He's the all-time Lion return man. Gets a few more, and some of the fellas getting a little anxious to get to the table. Sunday here on NBC. The Giants will host the Cleveland Browns. Two teams battling to get in the playoffs, and the same can be said for the Broncos.
Stats, and we'll get you tuned up for that Giants game.
Jones wrestled down at the 27-yard line. Gain of about 5 with 45 seconds left in this 3rd period. Charles Jackson, number 55, with a tackle. He played his football at the University of Washington.
Mullen also on the stop.
Chris Dietrich, an injured Lion on that last play. As you see, Wayne Fonts. You saw him standing up. Looks like he's got the...
Ken Falk said, I have seen such unbelievable injuries this year. You can't imagine.
Level wears 53. Jones, and he's hit by Mel. And Mel, he makes tackles that you hear. This will be the final seconds ticking away here in the third quarter and probably the last play of the period. And Dietrich OK is back in. Glover from University of Maryland, the #2 draft pick, comes out. And the gun sounds the end of the third quarter here at the Silverdome. And Olson, Bob Greasy at the Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan, sending our best on this Thanksgiving holiday. Fourth quarter, Lions lead the Jets 24-10, 3rd and 3 for Hipple. And he gives to Moore, who's tackled at the 30 short of the first down. Barry Bennett got the tackle. Well, let's go back to the storied guard career of Kevin Glover.
Glover, young rookie, gets in the ball game. Number 53, number 53, right in the middle of the screen. Now, stop it right there. Watch what he does with this right hand. He's going to take a whole handful of cloth and literally is going to tackle Kyle Kipton. Look at him, turn him right around there. The young man said this, hey, my man is not going to make the tackle.
I think he has a great career in this league ahead of him.
He can play guard.
Mike Black will punt, and the Jets early in this fourth quarter will get the ball in a situation where they have to take the most of each opportunity. There's the best kick of the day by Black. Sanson to his 21. And he runs into his own blocker, and down he goes at the 27. In the grasp of Tom Tenure. 49-yard punt by Black, a 7-yard return for Sohn to the Jets. Now Ken O'Brien and the Jets on the field scored their only touch.
Looking so strong and playing so well last week against the Patriots.
Yeah, but they're in the Lions' den. Hector to the 32-yard line. A good pickup for Hector, who was closing in on that 100-yard mark.
Dick, even on a day when things are not going right, you go back and you look at the films and you'll find some superb efforts. Johnny Hector, boy, what a great job he has done today. An all-out effort on his part. Certainly he's going to be one that will enjoy looking at those films, although he will not enjoy the loss if it ends up that way.
Al Toon, the touchdown maker a moment ago, and you see how tough he is to get down. Bruce McNorton finally bumps him out of bounds, but you better be sure you have a good hold of Toon, the way he can twist those legs away. In fact, he said, I'm envious of Freeman McNeil. It's all right to catch the ball, but I want to run it. I like the feeling of breaking tackles, and in this case, that rib injury may have been bumped a bit.
He mentioned that he is wrapped very tightly for the ribs. He's on the outside. Good time to throw for O'Brien, but watch the shot right here. Left side ribs that are bothering Toon.
That's his 25th catch in the last 4 games. Hector dragged down. Might have picked up a yard, perhaps not, as Keith Ferguson, number 65, the former San Diego Charger, led the Chargers in sacks last year with 8. They put him on waivers here this month of November, and the Lions quickly claimed him. Played his high school ball in Miami, Florida. I know a lot of fans down there watching, and undoubtedly the Dolphin fans rooting for the Lions today. We pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network.
You're watching Channel 11, WPXI TV, Pittsburgh.
O'Brien to Sohn. Close to a first down. Hit hard by William Graham and John Bostic. We're in the fourth quarter, 12.5 minutes remaining at the Silverdome. The Lions leading the Jets 24-10. And this one close enough to measure. It appears to be short by about the length of the football.
The Lions have continued to play a great deal of 6 defensive back alignment against the Jets, and one has to wonder if they would dare do that with Freeman McNeil on the field. I think his absence, even though Hector is playing well, allows the defense to play a little different kind of game.
Now the Lion fans now start to take things seriously. Page runs into his own man and then submarines close to the first down. 5'10" and a 220-pound package, Tony Page. Leon Evans and Jimmy Williams with a tackle.
Page with a little second effort there. Made first contact well behind the line, but I believe he did make the yardage. Of course, we've seen him standing there. I don't think he's been on the bench all day long, but The thing he would like to be able to do is to get that body of his healthy. Had rib injury early, and he said, you know, anything above the waist I can run with, I can play with. You see the first down is good. But he said, when I'm hurt below the waist, I count so heavily on the hard cuts and on the weight that I can put on those ankles and put on those knees. He said, when I'm hurt below the waist, I'm not much good.
Man of the Year candidate in the NFL, representing the Jets, Freeman McNeil, who loves to work with young people, gives of his time and his money's in that direction. Hector inside the 45-yard line. That puts him over 90 yards on the afternoon. Clock runs. 11:46, 11:45 left. Hector, a terrific long jumper at college, 26 feet 4 inches.
Looking at this game, and if you didn't know that the Jets had a Freeman McNeil, I think you would say, well, gosh, they've got to stay with this Johnny Hector. The one difference between Hector and McNeil is the home run ball.
On 2nd and 7, Tatoon, and dragged down by McNorton, but it's another Jet first down. And just to underline again what Toon has meant to O'Brien and the Jets, 4 games. Last 4 games as a starter, he has caught 26 passes. Boy, that is, this young man who signed, what, about the 2nd week of the season, was reluctant to sign, didn't like the negotiation. Boy, they've got themselves a gem.
Has also had to learn the whole offense and adjust to the NFL in that period of time. They've done it with remarkable dexterity.
Play action. O'Brien off to Dennis Blygen into the game. First time we've seen him. Blygen from St. John's has about 7. Flag down.
Dick, after watching the Lions dominate so well early, Jets finally getting themselves into this game, and then yellow flag on the ground. They can get a score on the board, go 17-24, and then only 1 play away.
Number 68, offense, 10 yards, first down.
Reggie McElroy back in. He sat out for some time in this game. Billy Shields replaced him, and he picked up a penalty. Now it's a new rule this year that the clock continues to run. The penalty does not stop the clock in this situation. It will in the final 2 minutes. So it's running at 2:20. First down and 20 for O'Brien. Out of the backfield to Blygen. He is whacked at the 37-yard line. Angelo King and Eric Williams. 8 yards for Blygen.
Also Angelo King.
Jets trying to get a little screen going here, Merlin. Man's going to come out. Now watch Alexander and Fields both come out to block as the wide receivers drive their men downfield. Looks downfield. It's an option screen. He has the option to throw it downfield or dump it off to the back.
Good pursuit from the inside by the Lion defense.
2nd and 12. The give is to Hector trying to get outside. He does at the 30. And a first down at the 21. William Graham knocks him out of bounds. And that stops the clock at the 9:24 mark. And Johnny Hector will remember Thanksgiving '85, his first 100-yard rushing day in the NFL. He takes a breather. Rocky Cleaver in. Blygen is in. Lions make some defensive changes. Joe Walton, his team down by 3 touchdowns. They've scored in the 3rd quarter to make it 24-10, and they drive deep now with a first down at the Lions' 21. Schuler with a good catch. John Bostic, cornerback from Bethune-Cookman, was right on top of him.
To Mickey Schuler. Bostic.
Ken O'Brien. Maturing during the course of this year, and so evident his last 3 games. The Dolphins nearly 400 yards and 5 touchdowns against Tampa Bay and 367 against New England, 311 yards and a touchdown, and in the 3 games intercepted only once. He's not been intercepted today, but he has fumbled twice, recovered by the Lions. 2nd and 5. direction to Hector. Ooh, a good cut by Hector. He's at the 10-yard line with a first down. Keith Ferguson made the tackle.
Watching from Freeman McNeil play has given Hector some ideas as he uses a little shake here. You kind of feel like you're there with him. Watch the little move here. A little fake inside and a dip back outside. Fake that defensive back right off his feet. Freeman watching, I'm sure, approved of that as he looks onto the sideline.
Look at it. Oh, he can taste it. First and goal from the 10. The Jets have the full 10 yards. O'Brien to Tune, and under pressure, O'Brien was fortunate to escape the sack. And Graham and Watkins had good coverage on Tune.
We looked at O'Brien's numbers just a moment ago. They do not tell the whole story. One of the other things that Kenny O'Brien has been able to do over the latter part of this season is to bring his team from behind. He did it in Miami with a late drive to go ahead, even though they lost the game. They were able to do it against Seattle. They brought that long drive back for the win against Seattle, so he can bring a team back. They need the touchdown here.
Alvin Hall stops Hector after just 2 yards. McNorton with an assist. Yeah, the crowd sensing the importance of a goal line stand by the Lions, getting into the fray here with 8 minutes and 10 seconds left.
The field goal won't help that much. They need the touchdown. They're behind by 14. Need the touchdown.
They didn't fool the Lions with a run. Schuler to the right. Tune and Walker left. May have been contact. Ball not snapped. Linesman comes in to talk with a referee.
It looked like Reggie McElroy may have moved out of his set position.
Number 68, offense. I didn't see any contact, though.
He just moved, Dick. You can't move. I think he lifted his hand up. Maybe we'll have a chance to look at it. Reggie is right there. You see that flex? He lifted up his hand. Just lifted up his hand, and you can't do that once you're in the three-point stance.
Well, the noise may have paid off. The Lions fans could well be credited with that 5 yards. So it's third and goal from the 13. O'Brien to Hector. 3 yards, that's all. William Frizzell. Darryl Rogers' defense is tough.
They are tough down there near the goal line, and I swear I just saw a snowball hit the field out there.
And Hector holding that right ankle. Leahy is in, so despite the fact there's only 7 minutes, 27 seconds left, apparently the Jets will go for 3, but we have a timeout.
Introducing the amazing Minolta Maxim, the world's easiest SLR, because it alone has built-in automatic focusing. Look, Maxim's autofocus lets you get perfect shots before others can even focus. Change lenses. Maxim again gets the shots that used to get away.
Only the human eye focuses faster.
Minolta Maxim.
Only from the mind of Minolta.
Yes, I remember Herb, the usual child.
In our search for Herb, the one man who's never tasted a Burger King burger, a face from Herb's past.
You had to know how to talk to him. Herbert, pay attention. This is what makes Burger King burgers taste so good. Flame broiling, not frying. Think about the juice.
If a field goal, this one will be 27 yards. Is it a fake? Nope, Leahy nails it through for 3, but that only gets the Jets within 11. And they have just 7:07 remaining. Leahy and the Jets on 4th and goal from the 10, get 3. Just over 7 minutes remain, 24-13 Lions after a questionable field goal attempt by the Jets.
So let's look for an onside kick here. No, they're going all the way. Well, that's 2 that we've been wrong on.
Cam Jones takes the touchback at the 20. If it was a 10-point game, you could understand it, but the field goal pulled the Jets within 11, which means that New York still has to score twice.
As few opportunities as the Jets have had to get down close to that end zone makes us wonder why they would elect to take the 3.
Had they missed, then the Lions would have had to start the ball with the ball the 10 or worse. It's still going to take the Jets 2 touchdowns to either tie it or win it. So that 3 is an empty 3. Got the move. Hipple 14-24 comes out throwing. That surprised the Jets. Leonard Thompson with about 7. Davlin Mullen with a tackle.
Hipple pass completed to Leonard Thompson.
Some good clubs have gone away with long chins from the Silverdome. Dallas an 8-14 loss here. Tampa Bay has lost to more than the Lions. The 49ers, tough loss here. The Dolphins beaten here. Bud Grant lost here. And the Jets 9-3 are looking at a possible loss with 6.5 minutes remaining. James Jones, first down at the 31-yard line. And the clock continues to roll. Terry Hamilton made the tackle.
First and 10, Detroit.
Detroit with a win would be 7-6, and we'll look all the more at their tough defeat at Tampa Bay in overtime last Sunday. The Lions looking at a wild card. Of course, the Bears have wrapped up that Central Division of the NFC, but the Lions still feel if they win their last 4, they're going to make the playoffs as a wild card. A lot of fans didn't think this would be one of the wins. Hippo under pressure hits his tight end David Lewis, tackled immediately. Terry Glenn, number 35, and Rich Miano, 36.
Rich Miano on the tackle.
Here are the remaining games. They host the Saints, sans Plum Phillips. Green Bay, they're at New Orleans, then Green Bay and Chicago at home. They finish with the Bears on the 22nd. It's New England, not New Orleans. I wonder, that didn't seem right.
I think I'd rather go to New Orleans.
There might have been a Detroit fan working on that graphic. Draw play, and it doesn't work as Alvin Moore wrapped up in the center of the line. Harry Hamilton, the safety man, right up there to force it. And a loss of a couple.
Alvin Moore on the run, tackled by Lance.
Johnny Hector, despite a twisted ankle, they've wrapped it heavily, will return.
And although just talking about New England, I'm sure their players gathered around a television set and enthusiastic about seeing the Jets lose. Unfortunately, they've lost Grogan. They've got some other serious problems. Johnny Hanna is hurt. And although they'll be in the tide if they can win their game on Sunday, it looks kind of tough for the New England Patriots right at the moment.
Third down play. And second effort by Manley gets the first down, and that is a big play by Manley. The Jets, had they stopped him at the 40, it would have been 4th down, but it appears that Manley, with that stretch, has the first down. He does.
What a great catch. Talking about the quality of the receivers here, the conversations didn't include the kind of catches we've seen here today. They have played outstanding football. Manley made a big catch. Lewis, you saw go up and make a tough catch. Mark Nichols made a couple of tough catches.
Clock running, 3:45 left. Lions 24, Jets 13. Nichols trying to stay in bounds, but a good defensive play by Kerry Glenn to knock him out of bounds. It'll be close to a first down at the Jets 49.
Dick, if the Lions can't figure a way to take this Superdome or Silverdome with them, maybe they can get one of these guys that hypnotizes the quarterbacks, and they can convince Eric Hipple that he's playing here in the Silverdome. He has had one outstanding day.
Well, we told you about the success. He's lost only 4 times in 22 starts at home. Doesn't quite work out that way on the road, where he's 6-16.
Comfort and confidence. Those are Bob Greasy's words. They certainly hit the true today.
Second and short. And Jones has the first down at the 46-yard line, and that clock ticking away against the Jets. 4 more downs for the Lions.
Well, and if the Jets defense can't stop the Lions, then going for the touchdown or the field goal purely academic.
You have a feeling, though, had they scored a touchdown in that last possession, it would be a different spirit on that defensive side of the line for the Jets. They used a timeout with 3:23 left.
There's got to be more purpose in your diving. You've got to concentrate. Concentrate. Focus on the dive. It's not enough to do many things well. You want to do one thing, the best. That takes determination, concentration, purpose. Everything for one thing. At E.F. Hutton, we understand the importance of purpose. We concentrate on one purpose, serving the investor. And that's why it is, why it's been for 80 years. When E.F. Hutton talks, people listen.
This Bud's for all that you do.
They said this city was through. You said, no way.
Each day the spirit's growing. Your pride is really showing. You make America work, and this Bud's for you.
Here's to you. Beechwood Age for that clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
This Bud's for you.
This fall, NBC Sports has a November to remember when heart-pounding excitement returns.
Down for the Lions, James Jones. He saw Jets coming and protected the football. May have lost a yard. Kyle Clifton there first. Bob Griese, there's the second timeout being spent by the New York Jets with 3:09 left. You look at Joe Fields, hoping the New Yorkers get another chance. The whole issue of Ken O'Brien being the #1 rated passer, the interception rate being so low, only 6 interceptions all year. And the other side of that are all those sacks. Over 50 times he's bitten the dust. What is your reaction?
Well, I think coming into this game, Dick, there is no question that he was the hottest quarterback in the league, but his style is a little bit different. He hurts the Jet offense by taking all the sacks. He is the highest percentage passer in the National Football League. He should throw some of those away, lower his passing percentage, but take fewer sacks, because when you're taking those sacks, then you just have to go back and make that yardage up.
Bob, when you watch him, you have the feeling that there's a progression there, and he's so confident right up to the point where he can't find that receiver, and it almost looks like at that point there's a moment of panic.
Well, a lot of quarterbacks are like that, Merle. That's the desire to complete every pass that you call, and I was the same way. You don't want to give the ball up. You don't want to admit that this play is no good and I have to now throw the ball away. The opposite to O'Brien, I would say, is Marino. Marino throws the ball away as soon as he sees either the coverage is going to be there or the line is going to get to him. He's got a lot lower percentage, but a lot fewer sacks.
Second down and 11. Meanwhile, Larry Kipple has stolen the show for the quarterbacks today. Jones gets outside, and Kirk Springs makes the tackle at the 43, but Jones wisely stays in bounds. It'll bring up third down. Will the Jets spend another timeout here? No, apparently. Well, now they do. That's their last one.
While we have another moment here, I'd like to throw a question to you too, Bob. I know that one of the big stories in the year, obviously, the undefeated season so far, the Chicago Bears. Go back in your career to an undefeated season, and toward the last part of the year, what kind of pressure was on your team? What kind of pressure is on the Bears?
Well, there's no pressure to win their division, obviously. They're going to have the home field advantage through the playoffs. The thing is history. They're fighting against history. And the old adage, the cliche, one at a time is really coming home here. They have to win one at a time. If they lose, so what? They're still going to have a good position for the playoffs. So I don't think there is much pressure on the Bears to go undefeated as a lot of people think. If they do it, that's fine. But if they don't, they're still in great shape and they can go into the playoffs.
Do you think they'll go unbeaten in the regular season?
Well, let me say this. They're the only team that has a shot this year.
No, come on. Come on now. I play Miami on Monday night. You think what a season for Mike Ditka and all those great fans in Chicago. Boy, they deserve a chance to cheer such an outstanding team. They've been so faithful to that ball club through the years, and a lot of lonely ones. Hipple wide open is Thompson. He's going for his third touchdown today. Turn on the oven, Mama. Get the turkey ready. This one is history. The Lions, Thompson has his third touchdown today, and Hipple has thrown his fourth to tie his own personal high, set back in his first start in '81.
The blitz is coming. Single coverage. Watch the move that Thompson puts on right here. A little inside move on Johnny Lynn that took Johnny off his feet. And Thompson's in the end zone.
Well, more believers. The Jets now believe in the Lions' power at home. Murray skids one.
Watch this one that he takes from Gastineau after he throws the football.
Yeah, those don't hurt when you see the official's arms go straight up over his head.
Well, he's calling the touchdown himself, and I don't blame him. He has had an outstanding day, as has
Ash and toast. And they have beaten quality clubs from start to finish here in '85, and they'll get one more chance to at home against quality, the Bears in the finale. Boy, will that be a hot ticket here in Michigan. Eddie Murray to kick it off. Johnny Hector. Not running all out. That ankle looked a little iffy. A little iffy and ouchy, and down he goes just across the 20. Boo-Boo Frizzell. He said he got that nickname. He was a Yogi Bear, the cartoon fan. In fact, he uses Yogi as his moniker on his license plate.
I have a feeling for the kind of frustration. And I'll tell you, you come into a game like this, you know you're a better team, and I think all of us agree that on paper, Bob Greasy said it early, and we pretty much agreed on that. The Jets are a better team on paper. You don't play this game on paper. You've got to prove it here on the field. And the Lions have been the better team today by far.
Schuler with an insignificant reception at the 30, an 8-yard play, and the clock runs. Angelo King with a tackle. The Jets go without a huddle.
2nd and 3 from the 30.
Little dump off to Blygen. That's a give me first down. The Lions will give the Jets all of those they want as the clock ticks away toward the 2-minute timeout.
1st and 10 from the 42.
And there is the 2-minute timeout. Miami, of course, Miami on a Monday night against the Bears.
And even if these Lions can't fight their way into the playoffs, what a nice foundation Darryl Rogers has built by being able to defeat quality teams. That's something to lean back on next year and the year after.
Blygen skids down at the 45-yard line of first down. Of course, the Jets have used up all their timeouts. So the Jets will go 9-4 overall. Denver 8-4, Raiders 8-4. See, there's also the wild card possibilities in there as well. We'll give you another look at that. Schuler dragged down quickly by Angelo King. So not only is it New England, Miami down there at 8-4, they both win. They're tied for first, but those are the other teams battling for the wild card. The Raiders involved, then it goes down to 6-6. Of course, the AFC undoubtedly will not have a wild card representative.
Some horrible football on occasion away from home here.
Last in the league rushing the ball, or last in the offense. You wouldn't know it today as Kuhn unable to gather that in. In case you join us late, the Detroit Lions are last in the entire NFL in offense. They're last in the entire NFL in stopping the run, and yet they're about to be 7-6 and still have hopes of a playoff.
And convince show them games that were played here in the Silverdome.
I think you might be right about that.
Time running out. 1:17 left. O'Brien Schuler, stopped at the 12 by Demetrius Johnson, and a flag is down. That will stop the clock, and that a break for the Jets on the penalty.
Dick, you have to go back and try and climb into the head of this Jet team. They just came off a very big win over New England. They went into sole possession of first place. They knew that they were without the services of Freeman McNeil last week. They overcame that last week, and I think everyone expected him to play in this game today. He wasn't able to get healthy enough to play in this game. I think that had a downer effect.
Pass interference against the Lions declined. Oh, I found another secret weapon, though, for the Lions. You forgot about Brewster Shaw. Brewster Shaw. Commander Brewster Shaw and the crew on the Space Shuttle Atlantis. They're watching today's game in outer space. Wesley Walker dragged down at the 8th. Commander Shaw is from right near Armada, Cass City, Michigan. A big Lion fan, and you think about this game going around the nation, around the world, and into outer space. We understand every time they got within 75 miles of the Earth, they had to go into the blackout zone.
You think they're sending some of that solar energy down here for the Lions today? They've been getting their energy from somewhere. Played an outstanding football game.
Delay of game against the Lions. Of course, they're bragging their trows, trying to get the final seconds of this game to tick away. And for Joe Walton, it's just a cosmetic touchdown they're going for anyway. 1:02 left. Darrell Rogers in his first year after 20 years of head coaching in the college ranks. O'Brien to Schuler, touchdown. Now the favorite target of Ken O'Brien, tight end Mickey Schuler, and Schuler says, "Let go of my anatomy." Bruce McNorton said Hoist did like the drumstick.
Why do that at this point in the game? Kind of silly. They know they're going to win this ball game. Why get in a battle out there and get thrown out? Maybe angry that Schuler ended up with the touchdown. Just barely time to throw this one as he works in front of McNorton. McNorton tried to snip it away. Let's watch the end of that play. He got a hold of his leg. Well, I don't know. What?
That's a new funky chicken. Isn't what they're doing there?
Some kind of dance, I guess. I don't know.
Try for point by Leahy is good, and it's 31-20.
Here comes the onside kick.
Ooh, free ball, and the Jets can't get it, and that more or less typifies their frustration on this day. How many times has that ball been on the carpet for anyone to grab, and it always seems to kick away from a white uniform? They still haven't signaled it's the Lions' ball, so hold on. William Gay, one of the defensive stars for the Lions. Detroit ball.
Big smiles on that Detroit sideline, and rightfully so.
Team Manley.
He leaves it spinning out there. Well,
they've got the Jets in a whirl.
They've had the Jets spinning all day long.
Texas, we wish you all again a happy Thanksgiving and the meaningfulness of this day. It's just a reminder of how important those we love are and those precious things that our forefathers celebrated. We, in turn, take count again today. And we hope they're all happy counts for you.
Clock ticking away. No way to get it stopped now. No reason to stop it, really.
One snap, and the Lions go 6-0 at home. The Jets lose their 4th of the season, are now 9-4. Their sole possession of first place in jeopardy, and the cheers from the remaining fans, 65,000 plus in attendance, 70,000 tickets were sold, go to Darrell Rogers and the Detroit Lions. The Lions beat the Jets 31-20. We hope you'll stay with us. NFL 85. We'll be right back with a special report, highlights of today's game, as well as interviews with those who took part in this contest. Looks like Ahmad Rashad, a man who knows quarterbacks well. 490 of the New York Jets' Thanksgiving defeat. It was Eric Hipple and Leonard Thompson, the key combination. They hooked up for 3 touchdowns, one of 39, one of 8, and one of 44 yards. And Hipple also tossed one in to his other wide receiver, Mark Nichols.